Or maybe it was like 5 o'clock in the morning. At whatever time I watched it, it was early in the morning because you guys can't hear it, but Car Alarm Bird is going crazy right now. In the FMVs, you think at least? You don't know all the remakes, you mostly know the PlayStation 1. Okay. I don't think it was exclusively the FMVs. It was the very opening of the game where like an evil guy was talking to a captured girl, you know, and they were talking. Sturdy branch. There it is. A tree branch used in the making of weapons and armor. Okay. Actually, I'm curious. I wonder if these characters stay with me. I highly doubt it. Equip this and it will fully restore MP when near 0. Can I unequip this? I can, so I can just rob you of this stuff. I feel like you're gonna leave my party. I can't unequip that though. That's fine. We'll unequip that. Oh, wait. No, these are just items. Okay, never mind. Never mind. I'll still take them, though. Getting dark. Should we camp here? Sure, but don't blame us if monsters eat you in your sleep. Of course, they'd probably get acid reflux if they ate Lucos. When you're feeling spent, you can set up camp to restore your HP. Do so by choosing the camp from the menu. But if the option is grayed out, then you can't set up camp at the moment. You need the camping kit item in order to set up camp. Go ahead and choose camp from the menu. Sokofu, Sokofu. Party is rested. Alright, we don't gotta go through everything one by one. Could have done everything same time. Alright, let's go. What did I think? I think I mentioned to you before that the positivity of the video, and admittedly, you know, a very weird thing to kind of point out and be like, this video is too positive. Blah blah blah. I think the video is kind of man, I thought about what I wanted to say yesterday, and I have a vague idea of what I want to say, but the way that I thought about it yesterday was the better way to say it. So I guess if I were to say it in a way that's not so great, there are some videos out there that are very negative. And they kind of like focus on the negative aspects of things, and they just run with it for all of eternity. And I feel like the Jack video was the exact opposite of that, where they focus on all the positives and they just run with it. And I think on on both spectrums, those are not necessarily videos that I particularly care for. You know, I think it's, for me, it's more interesting to see the positives and the negatives at the same time. Or maybe in succession, you know, maybe if he put out another video and I just haven't watched it, you know, like why the Jack trilogy isn't the perfect trilogy, you know, maybe I would have to do that. But there's something about like infectious is the first word that comes to mind, but it's not anywhere close to the word that I want to use. There's just something about like super, I guess there's something about videos that skew heavily in one way or the other that make me feel a certain way. So that's how I felt about the video as a whole. But I felt like the content in the video was really, really, really well done. He also has an amazing narration voice. In the sense of, like, most people who do YouTube videos, myself included, have a reading voice. And you can just hear the reading voice. And it doesn't sound good. Anybody that has a reading voice on a YouTube video has already failed that YouTube video. And I have failed so many YouTube videos. But he injects so much personality and enthusiasm in all of his words. It's like he's just talking to you, and that's how a video should sound. So I greatly applaud him for being able to pull that off. It's very, very good. Well, looky what we have here. Let's see what's inside. Rusty spear. A rusty spear, eh? No worries. You can take rusty items to a polisher. They'll make them like new. You can get a polisher to scour clean rusty items for you, turning them into usable weapons and armor. Only larger towns have polishers, so you might have to haul around any rusty items you find for a while. A bow. Or toy bow. Great, a bow. Now I don't have to get so up close and personal with enemies. Let's equip the bow. Touch the menu start. Setup. Let's explain how to equip items such as the toy bow. First order of business, select items. Welcome to the item screen. Let's break down its different bits. On the items and magic screens, you can choose to view only specific categories of items and spells. There are 5 item categories you can display: all, weapons, armor, recovery, and other. Tap the left arrow twice to switch to the weapons category. The weapons category is now shown. Touching the screen anywhere outside of the category selection menu will close it. Give it a try. Touch here at any time to bring the category selection menu. This menu saves you from having to poke around when you're choosing from lots of items. Touch these arrows to switch the character who will be using the equipped items. Touch this arrow to switch to Lucas. You've switched to her. We mean him. Items can be equipped, dropped, or used. Let's select equipment. Once you select equipment, you'll be able to see which weapons can be equipped. You have a second option for looking at your loot. You can display a full list of your items. Tap simple at the top. You're now at the list display. This allows you to view lots of items at once. Convenient, huh? Touch detailed to go back to the previous way of looking at things. Oh, something. Tap the toy bow once more to return to the detailed screen with it selected. Now you're back at the detailed screen with the toy bow selected. You'll see flashing numbers at the top. These handy figures show how equipping the weapon affects stats. Speaking of which, let's explain the various stats. I'm going to be in tutorial for a very long time. Hit points. I understand hit points. Drop to 0. Magic points. Yep. Strength. Melee attacks. Defense. Less damage. Intellect. More spells. Agility. Chances of hitting and order of your turn. Choose your weapon carefully. It can affect more than just stats. Certain weapons have abilities and skills that are tied to them. Equip these special weapons to access their corresponding skills and abilities. Tapping this box will reveal more info about the skills and abilities tied to them, or to the item in question. Give it a tap and see. Coordinate the bow attacks with a chosen ally, 11 MP. Delay an enemy from acting when your attack connects. Ooh. Now that we've seen how items alter stats, skills, and abilities, you should equip your weapon. Well done. Now that you've equipped the toy bow, touch the back icon. Let's check our equipment to make sure everything's in order. Choose equipment. Equipping the toy bow from the item screen was successful. It's now equipped as a sub-weapon. Each character can equip 2 weapons, a main weapon and a sub-weapon. Your sub-weapon doesn't have to be a weapon at all. You can equip a shield in that slot instead. Equipping a weapon instead of a shield sacrifices defense for offense, so choose wisely. Okay, you're just gonna kick me out. Okay. It's mega old school anime synchro. It's corny, for sure. It's the same studio that then went on to make Grandia. And, well, you know that Grandia still has that distinct 90s quality VA. Okay. So I guess that's the explainer for it. You want to do YouTube, but you think you'll have that reading voice in addition to not being native or not being native to the language. You're gonna sound like crap and amateur, and that depresses you. You know what I'm gonna tell you, Nakuri. You know what I'm going to tell you. There's no way that Bread's Word or Bread's Sword had that voice on his very first video. There's no way I had, or I've put out. Let's just say I've put out 50 videos. I might have more of that, I might have a little bit less. But let's say I put out 50 videos. I still have the reading voice. I've been doing YouTube since 2017. And I still suck. But it's fun. And so I keep doing it. You just gotta do it. Just get started, and you know what? You can work on it. If you don't want your first video to sound like a reading voice, you can make your first video be your 100th video or what have you. Just work on your reading voice. Record it over and over and over again until you kind of get that nice conversational quality to it. It's something that I need to work on, but my problem is I don't do YouTube videos often enough, so I kind of like fall back into the reading voice. I need to do that. I need to I guess get into a rhythm of doing the voiceovers. The Dotwood ends here. We'll leave you to journey on your own. Good luck, Heracles, and to you as well, Lukos. Thanks, Nymph Brigade. I like how on the screen over there, it says, you know, like where we're at and stuff. Be very, very helpful for an encounter report of this game. Apparently today you cannot even write either. Writing is tough. I have troubles with the writing. I go through scripts like crazy. I have scripts written for videos that are probably never gonna come out. I even redid scripts for videos that are probably never gonna come out. I should make those videos, truthfully. I think it would be a great thing to do. But, you know, here we are. Yeah, Bredsword has a great narration voice, and you agree? He made some excellent points when talking about each Jack game. You think, you told me this previously, but he made you remember. After a set number of turns. Cool. He made you remember just how well written those games are, since you had forgotten. You know what? You reminded me about another thing. I really wonder. It's a very interesting dynamic to me when you have a game like the Jak and Daxter games, and you come across like hints or small things that are tied into the larger narrative, but do you actually is the game okay, this is gonna sound crazy, but is the game made better or written better or digested better by the player? Is that a better experience to have, to encounter it when it happens versus going back to the game and finding things that you missed, if that makes any sense? So like there was an example of the word home was only mentioned like 8 times. I would never in a million years be like, oh my goodness, they only mentioned home like 8 times in this game throughout the playthrough, and then tie that back to characters' semblance of how they view home and what their new home is versus their old home, and how they're going to make new homes and things like that, and what home means to them. I would never make that connection while playing the game. So is that a good thing that I can go back to a game and be like, wow, I didn't realize this connection before? Or is it a bad thing in that the story didn't convey that more on the nose as a more like downhill way of saying it, but I'm not meaning it in that context. But you know, is it more of a negative for the game? And I don't really know, and I feel like I should know. Talk to someone simply, or to talk to someone, simply touch them with the stylus. You can try using the stylus to touch this character. I can't wait to be done with the tutorials of this game. But did you boys just come out of that spooky forest? Hardly anyone goes in there and comes out again. We're lucky, I guess. We just wandered in circles for a while. It's not like some random nymphs helped us or something. Well, you couldn't possibly have meant to wind up in our little town, eh? Not unless this is Mount Olympus. I take it we're a ways off, or the myths really exaggerate things. Oh, Olympus, eh? Let me point you in the right direction. You want to go straight out of the other end of town. Then keep walking until you reach a port town. You can't miss it. Thank you. Just go for it, you won't regret it. Just look at Axel. He has a reading voice on many vids and still goes for it. Exactly. Check it out. It's a healwort herb. In addition to treasure chests, you'll find other items you can get by touching them. Try touching the herb with your stylus. You sucker fools. Obtained herb. Healwort herbs can be used as an item during both during and outside of combat to restore your HP. You can also equip an herb to your pouch and you'll automatically use it in combat when your HP is low. Cool. In item shop. Why was I getting a like a thing over my head? Interesting. We're never going to be done with tutorials. This looks like a shop of some sort. Let's see what they sell. You can open doors by touching them while nearby. You can walk into the building. Then you can walk into the building. Now that you're close to the door, tap it with the stylus to open it. And let the door hit you while you're opening it. To spend the night in an inn or buy an item from a shop, touch the shopkeeper. Sometimes you'll be too far from the shop to get service. Approach the shopkeeper, then try again. Inns allow you to restore or rest to restore HP and MP. You can choose to either sleep or rest. The only difference, sleeping advances the in-game time by 1 day to the next morning. Advice: don't forget to take a load off now and again. If your HP is dragging, get yourself to an inn. These shops deal in items with useful effects, such as restoring HP or neutralizing poison. Remember, you can't set up camp unless you have a camping kit. You can buy them at any item shop. Recommended item, Pick Me Up. Knocked out in combat? This medicine will have you on your feet in no time. Just equip it in your pouch to use it automatically. Welcome, why not stock for the road? Holy cow, you charge so much money. How much money do I have? I have 3,400. We have one pick-me-up. Let's buy another pick-me-up. I think 2 camping kits is fine. Stay out of the shadows. I don't think we need to rest. Is it the camera or is it the game? Like, there's this stutteriness. I think it's just like how I'm interacting with objects. But it's really, really, really weird. Didn't want to talk to you. Think it will, just worries a bit. Yes. Use the deprecation of my confidence as... You want to charge me that much money, man? As confidence to improve. That is the best way to move forward. Just go watch my videos and be like, you know what? I could do better than this sucker fool. And I will do better than this sucker fool. And then just make it happen. Hey, I heard from Gramps that you guys are going to Olympus. Yep, what of it? You're gonna need this then. Battle Primer. Why are you giving us this? I used to be a soldier down in Mycenae, but I went AWOL. It's just been taking up space. Put it to good use for me. Thanks, my friend here has gotten rusty in the art of war, so this should help. Lucky break for you, huh? You can learn magic spells by praying in front of a Prometheus statue, so keep your eyes peeled for these altars. The spells you learn from a Prometheus statue will become usable once you reach a certain level. You can learn skills by visiting temples and praying to the statues of the gods there. Skills you get from the gods will become usable once you reach a certain level. Whenever you're confused, consult the glossary. It might look puny at first, but the glossary grows as you advance through the game. Check it out once in a while. You can view the glossary by selecting glossary in the menu. Simple, eh? So, since I gave you that book, think you could do me a favor? Sure, I guess so, even though you're a deserter. What is it? My mom runs an item shop in Mycenae. You run into her. Tell her I'm doing well, could you? She worries about me. And give her this money for me, too. Got it. The owner of the item shop in Mycenae. We won't forget. Great, I really appreciate it. Did you really just give me 200 Gs? 200 plus 0 Gs? I guess they're Ds in this game. Yep, you totally did. If it'll have anything like the Digimon in a nutshell idea in it, it'll be great. You'll probably pro at visuals already. There you go. You should equip a shield if you want to take less damage. That's a free tip for the road. Yeah, you see this? You see how, like, stuttery it is? Not giving it to me right now, but there's some... I think it's so weird. I don't know what it is. I can rotate the camera. I think I missed an answer to your question. I don't know how I'm gonna cut up this game. It's most likely gonna be 30 minutes, but no, yikes. You say it's a good thing, actually, because it gives the player more things to explore. Like, even in the first game, there are those precursor orb statues that almost foreshadow things in Jack 2 and 3, with the things they say about Dark Eco and such. Oh, I'm not necessarily talking about foreshadowing. You know, foreshadowing is relatively fine. I'm mostly talking about, I think the home examples of a decent one, just because, you know, like, who picks up on that stuff? I'm certainly not picking up on that stuff. So it just kind of makes me wonder, if that kind of approach on things kind of falls on deaf ears. I mean, I guess it doesn't, there's nothing wrong with doing it. You know, the people that do catch that stuff, you know, they're gonna feel like geniuses. Out of my way. What's that guy's problem? Which way did the monster go? The monster? Yes, the monster. He's an immortal. Usually that would make him a god or a hero, but this man's a beast. Back up a second. Did you say he's an immortal? As in, no can die? Exactly, he's dangerous. We must find him immediately. Well, good thing you ran into us, helpful citizens. Or, ran into us, helpful citizens. He went that way. Alright, thanks for your cooperation. Or, thanks for cooperation? Thanks for cooperating. Reading is hard. Another immortal. Oh, items. Might have some cheek talking to you, but you think our YouTube content is genuinely inspiring? Uh-oh. That makes me happy to hear, Nakuri. Especially because I still feel like I approach YouTube with a very against the grain type of mentality. Wow, that save was quick.